We are in the final countdown, ladies and gentlemen. The Switch 2 rumors are cooking up more than what The Rock can cook, right? You smell what Shigeru Miyamoto is cooking, while the Switch 2 rumors, speculation, everything are coming, because at this time next year, according to reports, we should be having a Switch 2. Yeah, the end of 2024, holiday 2024, we should be playing on a Switch 2. And with any Nintendo console, there's always lots of hype. People want Nintendo to have a beast of a console, and it always seems like every time they're a little underpowered. They're always a little behind with the times. I remember when I had the Wii U, I used to get laughed at. My friends had PS3s and Xbox 360s, and then later the PS4 and the Xbox One. And here I am playing on my Wii U, games that are just far behind, ports that come way too late, crappy online structure, lots of next-gen features that just weren't there. Then the Switch comes out. Yeah, sure, the Switch is sounding like hotcakes. If it's not broken, don't fix it, right? They've been making lots of money hand over fist. The Switch basically saved the failure of the Wii U. Innovative system. The hybrid model where it's a console and a portable all-in-one that you can just pick up and play anywhere. It changed. It innovated. It did wonders. And there's always been this train of thought where, what is Nintendo going to do next for the Switch 2 or the Switch Pro, whatever you want to call it? Are they going to change up the formula? And for the most part, in my live streams, we talk about it and we say, no, they're not going to do anything to change anything. It's going to probably be the same type of vibe, the same type of hybrid console. And yeah, I agree with that. Now, there's a new report going on from an industry analyst by the name of Dr. Serkan Toto, who's the CEO of a Tokyo-based game industry consultation company called Kantan Games. Now, there were some leaks out there recently, all sorts of leaks talking about games that are supposedly on the horizon and stuff. Before I continue this video, remember, take everything with a grain of salt, because there's been no confirmation, and even if something's a reliable source, sometimes things can be wrong. I don't want people to be like, oh, Eric is sitting here being a clickbaiter and claims that he has industry inside info. No, I haven't claimed that. I'm reading what industry analysts are posting out there and doing reports on stuff. That's how the news works. You give your source and you talk about what the source said, and this is a source that was talking to other gaming websites and stuff. That's how the news works. I hope you guys know that. Your local news gets news that is given to them by other sources. So like ABC News might get a source from the Associated Press that gives it to this one, and it transfers over. That's how the journalist economic system works. All right. Well, anyways, this new console, to think about it and think about the key features that we've been having and everything, it's very interesting, and it's a year before the release, so things are heating up. According to everything, this is not going to be a revolutionary change. There's not going to be substantial changes or upgrades. The Switch 2 is basically going to be considered, I guess, just like an iterative upgrade. Nothing out of the ordinary. They're not changing much about it, and that's no-brainer. That's no surprise. We've been talking about it on my channel streams for quite some time. Are they going to come out and surprise us with something? Me, I would like a huge difference. I would like 4K gaming. I would like a huge, vast revamp of what a Nintendo console is, because even though I am a longtime Nintendo fan, I'm tired of always having these underpowered systems that don't compare, that are not competitive enough, that can't run real games. That, like, when I say real games, I mean like real AAA third-party games that are huge bangers, these huge Game of the Year contenders that just take up so much space, that are freaking FPS heavy, that use frame rates and ray tracing and all that fancy techno babble that I'm still new about. I want a powerhouse of a system, but apparently that's not going to happen. It's just going to build on the current Switch design. So it's going to be like a Switch Pro, essentially. It's going to take the main model of what the Switch is, the hybrid portable console thing that they have, and just kind of like make some building on it. Hopefully improve performance, right, without changing the core concept. Again, I'm all for the Switch key concept. It's the best gimmick they've had in forever. But yeah, they're not going to do too much heavy. I would like a lot of heavy stuff if they could keep the core stuff there, but no. This is good news for those who just want a more powerful Switch, which I guess in basic concept, that's all what we really want. We want a Switch that could run GTA on it. a real GTA, like a new GTA, which according to sources recently, I made a video talking about GTA 6 and how it wasn't ever going to be on the Nintendo Switch 2 because the Switch 2 wouldn't be able to run it. The Switch 2 is going to be about as powerful as a PS4 Pro, I think, or maybe just a base PS4. I'm not sure. Now, according to this other thing, there is some price rumors as well. Dr. Serkan Toto said that the asking price for the Switch 2 may launch at $400, which seems about the norm, to be completely honest. There's supposedly going to be two different versions, a $400 digital-only model and a $450 version that plays physical games. A $50 price increase for the ability to play physical games. That's kind of, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't feel positive or negative about it. That does scare me, though. I'm very curious when it comes to what type of cartridge that the games are going to be. Are Switch games that are currently out right now going to be compatible with the Switch 2? Is it going to be the same type of cart? How expensive are the games going to be? If they're using bigger memory-sized cards, are these going to be $70 pricing models? I have no clue about that. The industry trend right now is that games are going to be $70. The Switch games out there already have a Switch tax, unfortunately, that we see constantly. The same third-party game that's on the Switch might be cheaper on the Xbox or the PlayStation because those little proprietary carts, they cost money to make, and they're not cheap. And unfortunately, Nintendo likes to be stubborn. They like to have their own type of cartridges and stuff. We've seen it with the GameCube, with the mini CDs. We've seen it with the Nintendo 64. We've seen it happen constantly. I'm not sure. I just hope the games aren't overpriced. I hope there's decent backwards compatibility with at least the Switch, with the previous generation. Now, Dr. Toto mentioned that the Switch 2 will maintain the portable functionality, which is smart, especially when you think of games like Pokemon, which are associated with being, active and moving around, and handheld gaming since the first version of Pokemon Red and Blue, being able to trade with gamers that are nearby and things like that. And I think they're going to add some additional stuff as far as portability goes. I would like to see some of the stuff that we had on the 3DS, like the AR technology would be nice. Maybe some kind of dual screen, a street pass thing. Remember street passes? I think that would be cool if we had those. But overall, what it's looking and sounding like, the design is just going to be the same. It's just going to be a iteration, like a new updated model rather than a huge change, like no huge innovation or revolution changes here, and I guess that's great news if you're Team Switch and you prefer this hybrid model. Again, if it's not broken, don't fix it. The Switch is one of the best selling consoles in Nintendo's history, and it was innovative when it came out. It still is. It captures on with the kids love it. So yeah, now right now as far as Switch sales go, because I mentioned it has been killing it, but there's only so far that Nintendo Switch can go. And I felt they should have made a new console like a year or two ago, to be completely honest. And maybe the pandemic postponed that. But I felt the Switch was already like beyond a point of, hey, they need something substantially new here, something that will help it. The hardware is aging. The competition between Microsoft and Sony is becoming increasingly huge. And not even that. Think of like all these other gaming devices that are similar to the Switch, like the Steam Deck and other consoles that are coming out, like that Logitech one that came out not too long ago. I believe that's what it is. Those are like way more powerful than the Switch. I don't know. I think the market is just evolving with devices that are too similar, like the Nintendo Switch, and it's time for Nintendo to rise up to the occasion because it's quickly evolving, guys. And I feel, me personally, even what we're getting rumored here with this Switch 2 upgrade, I feel like it's not enough. I feel that it's just a small improvement, just enough to where people are like, oh, okay, it's a new one. I don't think that there should be like that type of lackadaisical feel. Like, I feel a small bump in performance is not enough. Now, people could be like, Eric, they don't need it. It's Nintendo. It's Mario games and that. Don't eventually you want Nintendo to get out of that shell and start to like develop real hardcore games? I don't know. I just, you can still stay true to where you're at as far as tradition goes, but there's flaws. There's flaws, technical flaws. and enhancements that are needed to be corrected and featured on the new console. Another thing I think of is Joy-Con drift. Think of how horrible these Joy-Cons are. Are they going to do a substantial upgrade to the Joy-Cons? Are we going to be using the same Joy-Cons? You got Joy-Con drift like hell. I can't even use my original launch set of Joy-Cons because they're just drifted to hell. Battery life, an improvement on battery life would be fun as well. So I don't know. There's a certain expectation that I have for the Switch 2, and I feel like if it's like what they did with the OLED Switch, where it was just not enough of an upgrade, I'm going to be slightly disappointed. All right? I'm going to be slightly disappointed if it's not a substantial improvement, because at this time, man, I feel like, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, we're going to like year, 6, 7? Something needs to change. Something needs to happen. I'm tired of Nintendo playing the easy way in just because the Nintendo and the name value's there. I think the next Nintendo Switch, it's on the horizon. They've been keeping their cards close to their chest. They haven't revealed their secrets. Hopefully by June, we'd be getting something. I want this to be a banger. I mean, I'm still going to support it. I'm still going to be excited about it. I'm sure you guys are still going to be excited about it. But in the meantime, we just got to wait and see. And who knows, out of all these reports, which ones are true, which ones are factional. I mean, if they come out with a new next-gen Switch or a Switch 2, what's going to compel you enough to upgrade, honestly? Do the specs have to be substantially powerful enough? Is a minor upgrade like a screen difference and just slightly powerful improvements enough for you? Like, I want bang for my buck. I want some powerful shit. And that's not me being entitled. It's just, I was good with the Switch when it initially came out, and now I'm like, man, I just want something that plays good, that can run games good, that looks good, that doesn't run choppy. And that's not to say that games like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild and that weren't bangers at all. That's not to say that. It's just, I'm at this point where if I'm getting, again, like I said, if there's a game that's out on both the PS5 or the Switch, I'm getting it on the PS5 or the Xbox because I feel that they run a lot better there. And you got to also think, by the time this Switch 2 comes out, what if a mid-generation Xbox comes out or a mid-generation PS5, like a PS5 Pro comes out? Then the Switch 2 is just going to be back to where they're at right now. They're just going to be just like, like right now, the Switch, the regular Switch, how underpowered it is between the PS5 and Xbox Series X. If a Switch 2 comes out and then mid-console releases of both the Xbox and the PS5 come out, we're going to be back to square one where they were at, and that's why I feel it needs to be substantial. It needs to be really improved. I want real good software in there, not fucking Tegra chips and all this crap. All right? Come on, Nintendo. That's just my opinion, guys. I know some of you guys, you Nintendo's, you Nintendo fanboys. I'm one myself. Some of y'all are going to get real offended by me saying this, and you're going to be like, Nintendo doesn't have to do anything, blah, blah, blah. They sell like this and that. Yeah, they sell, right? But you can't coast on this forever in this business, especially with how quickly this business is growing and how quickly this business is advancing. You're going to be obsolete really quickly technology-wise if you're planning on only doing a bit of improvements on the Switch, because I feel the Switch is super behind at this point as far as technology goes. Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave it right there. Let me know your thoughts down below. Share this video if you can. Share it to your friends, your family, your Sancha. Hit that like button. Comment down below. Let's get this engagement up, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.